We got it right this week. Last week we had some technical difficulties. I got down in the lab early. Welcome to episode 12. We finally hit the dozen mark, and we've got Claymore
12.
from Photo Booth Graphics on this week. What do you say, Dave?
12. That's crazy. People are actually listening to us for 12 episodes.
I don't know if they're listening,
We
but
already have people viewing it. That's even more crazy.
I think my dog watches it. I don't know.
Actually, I have 3 or 4 computers open in the other room. That's actually what,
That helps.
where our viewers are.
That helps.
Is that what the 6 is up there?
Yes, that's how many people are watching right now.
It's the 3, and then it's the 3 of us.
Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. But
I got you.
Everybody knows you can view this on YouTube, Photo Booth Magazine, Facebook, Photo Booth Magazine, and the Photo Booth Network, and a few other places. Also, there'll be a recap tomorrow of tonight's recording. So if you have any questions, post them in the messages, and we'll let you know and answer any questions that you might have.
And we're working on some
We are live.
geriatric offices so that we can get streamed over in geriatric offices. So they're boarding. Yeah. So
we're big in China right now. From what I understand.
I mean, I have to say that Dave and I have been in this business for going on 13 years. So
it's been a long time. Let's not bring that up. Just so you know, Art Clay was one of the original members of the Photo Booth Network and one of the original admins of the Photo Booth Network way back when.
Right.
And then he got kicked off.
What's that?
Then you got kicked off? What happened? You just got tired of dealing with Dave? No, are you just trying to give me some tips on how to deal with Dave moving forward?
It was a long story. It's all rectified. It's all good. It's just a few personal things that had happened. So, not a big deal.
Hey,
at all.
It is what it is. We're all here. We're all friends. So welcome.
That's it.
Definitely.
It's like Clay and I said. It's in the past, and we moved on. We've rebuilt our friendship. I still think of him as a brother today. So, like I said, dysfunctional families are everywhere.
That's right.
So
that
Clay,
is true.
Photo Booth Graphics. You've been doing this for a long time because I know that because we go back that far.
Well, you were there when I started, and Mr. Scott Harris, the number 3 admin or number 2 admin.
Number 2 admin, 3 admin, whatever.
We're fighting for that, right? But anyways, Scott Harris gave me the first customer in Pennsylvania, of all places.
That's right. And Art and I both know Kevin.
Yeah, it was Kevin.
Kevin Romali. Yep.
It's actually pronounced PA. We call it PA.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Listen, he's from Texas. He doesn't know better. That's okay.
Sorry, Houston fans. I'm Rangers. Okay. So I know the Astros did well.
Our viewers just dropped a 2. All right.
That's what happens. Mention the Astros, viewership goes down.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's not get into that. Let's keep on target here, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, look at shiny thing.
Yeah. So squirrel. So the Photo Booth Graphics. I have a degree in communications and public relations. I've been dabbling in Photoshop and Illustrator and all the fun graphic design stuff to make the interfaces for websites. And once I got into the photo booth world, I was like, man, I could easily make overlays for people. And talking to Scott about it, and he sent me Kevin, and ever since then, I just grew and grew and grew. And then Photo Booth Network, thanks to Dave, is what really topped us off, having advertising and making it to where we could thrive in this industry. And it's been a great ride for it. So I also am a disc jockey. I've DJ'd for 25 years, Dave. Can you believe that? Yeah.
Yep.
25 years.
I remember.
So that's helped out getting the customer base as well. But,
yeah, I mean, and Clay's done a lot of graphics for me over the years. Also,
animated
one of
and
my most
static.
popular ones. One of my most requested one is the TikTok one that you did. That was
Really?
very popular. Yeah, that actually I get
Yeah.
customers who request that quite a bit now. So,
Right.
but
And that's
great
pretty
design.
easy to.
Yeah, well, when you know what you're doing. Some of us aren't that graphically talented, so we lean
Well,
on the ones that are.
and that's the reason why we have a support email address, and that's the reason why we have the Facebook pages and the YouTube channels and things to show how to edit things to help out with things like that. And I'm here 40 hours a week, right here in this room, so to help out anybody that needs help.
So Clay, what are some of the most popular designs? Are you seeing more for photo booth, like DSLR photo booths, or iPads? I mean, which is there a
360.
trend, or the 360s, or the mirrors? You know, what are you seeing
Well,
from a design aspect?
so in my world, it's more about video versus photo, right? So
Okay,
which kind of overlay it is. Um, but as far as the device that people are mostly using right now is either going to be the iPads first, then going into the 360 video world, and then going back into mirror booths.
okay.
And then we're going into the traditional landscape photos,
Do you
two
see
by
more,
sixes.
more volume on the iPad stuff right now?
I do. I
Interesting.
do. Yeah. Yeah. We get a lot of hits for the video effects stuff from SnapPic. And then also a lot of the animated overlay stuff for TouchPix and now LumaBooth.
That's pretty cool.
So
That's
And
interesting.
Curator. I know you do a lot with Curator too.
I do. I do. Yeah. So we do a lot of experience stuff for Curator.
Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting because like
So
I'll see, and I'm on DJ forums as well, and I'll sometimes see photo booth questions in there, and some of the guys are like, iPad booths, that's fine, you just show up your phone. We do print only. It's like, so some people aren't even like considering getting into this new technology and offering it. And I talked a few weeks ago on the show about a mitzvah planner that was totally against the iPad booth. And I said, well, let me just set one on one side of the room, and let me set the print, the DSLR on the other side of the room to see who. Let's let the crowd choose. It was like 90% were in the iPad booth all night. Barely anybody used the strips.
right. So I came from using Breeze and in a traditional DSLR system, and I switched over to Darkroom with their beta, and there was really good things about Darkroom. I have nothing against them at all whatsoever. I love them to death. But when I introduced our iPad booths out to the world, that's when I was getting stuff like, this is so much fun. We can do the props on there. It's kind of like Snapchat, if you will. So I was getting a lot more better responses from the iPad systems. But always 100%. If I go professional cameras systems, I know the iPads take DSLRs now,
Uh-huh.
but I will always default back to darkroom with a DSLR camera because I think that is the best way for me, for my company,
Uh-huh.
to be able to present a better photo uh, with a DSLR. But for entertainment purposes, I think the iPads are a lot better
Yeah, and
for
so
sure,
I'm
and,
one of
and easy
those.
to use.
I started off with Breeze, and I'm still with Breeze, and I've got Darkroom on my one booth. I just haven't started using it yet. It's all for me. It's like it's hard to find time to tinker around with these different softwares. It really is because they're not all the same. They're really not. And
No, they're not.
yeah, so David, now you use Darkroom a lot too, right? Was that your primary one?
I use Breeze. I use Darkroom, both. Actually, I use a couple different softwares for each of the systems. So if you limit yourself to just one, you're limiting yourself a lot
I
because a
am.
lot of the different softwares that are out there do different things.
Uh-huh.
So you really need to have the software that fits your customer and your event.
Yeah.
if you're just doing parties and things like that, and you're using the DSLR, Breeze and Darkroom and
LA Photo Party.
Play Photo Party. I mean, those are probably the tops out there.
Right.
But if you're using the iPads, SnapPick, TouchPicks, and Curator are probably the three tops. When it comes to that, the 360s, you got TouchPicks if you're using an iPhone, and GoPro Now, and SnapPick, and Zentek, I think are probably the three. So you need to have just like tools. Anybody that's doing a job, you need to have the right tools for your job. And there is no one stop does everything. And that's kind of what, I'd like people to understand is just because you have one, if something fails with one, you need to have a backup.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of a thing that's out there that not a lot of people think about till something happens. Or, you get that, well, my customer wants to do this. Well, software doesn't do that. What other software does? So, doing a little bit of research and talking to the manufacturers of the different software and find out all the features that they offer.
Right.
'Cause like I said, not everybody offers the same things.
Yeah.
So
Right. Like Photomaster, for example, doesn't do the same. They have some really cool things with augmented reality and light painting and all those different things that are graffiti walls and whatnot that you can't get with a lot of the other softwares out there. But I agree with Dave. You definitely have to have more than one app on your computer or on your iPad. I even have it on my phone just in case.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
That's one of the things.
SnapPick.
Yeah, I was on DJ NTV. Dan Carpenter asked me, he was covering for John, and asked me to come on. And the topic was during the off season, and really it's hard to gauge what an off season is, but during the down months of winter, so to speak, like December and January, utilize that time to improve.
Wait, December, January are downtime for you?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Really?
I got a couple, only like 2 or 3 in January. Plus, Dave, where we're at, we get snow too. So
we do. I mean, I'm in the same area.
Yeah.
But my slow time is February and March, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, whatever that downtime is to allocate to improving your business, and for me, it's going to be testing out not only some of the functionality in Breeze, but learning. I'm going to test out Darkroom and a couple others for DSLR, but also I use Curator for the iPad. But I want to test out some new ones because it's been a while since I've touched any other programs out there, and a lot of it has to do, Clay, with like I'm going to be coming to your site and looking at all the different options like animated overlays. I'm just using the stock stuff that comes with the software and maybe a couple things that I've edited myself, but there's just so much to do and so many options that you have to dedicate that time. So my downtime is going to be, for at least for the photo booth business, is trying out these new, to me, things, these different softwares and some more things to upsell, because that helps you selling your business.
Right. Well, and also you and I talked briefly the other night about terminology too.
Yep.
So there's a lot of terminology that is on our website that I feel like a lot of us boothers need to know and out there in the world. So there's so many different names for different things. For example, for overlays, I've seen them called filters, templates, layouts, borders is what Darkroom calls them.
Yeah, what I like, your site has a lot of like information, education on here. It is like chock full. Like even just the RBG color chart, you got how-to videos on here. Even in your FAQ section, you're educating people, for crying out loud. It's incredible.
Dave, you want to tell them what my background is?
What's that?
In education.
See, I would just make a joke. I can't do that to you.
He's teaching us all stuff. There's videos here.
I was a school teacher. So it's very important for me to go in and teach people how to do things and take the time to explain things. So yes, there's a lot of, I like to call it fluff on the website.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, as you can see, I have instructions on how to put things in, screenshots. Two reasons. One is so that way it's easy for you to see it and get in there and do it yourself, and also it cuts down the amount of support time that I have to be on the phone as well.
And you can see, I
So
mean, it's evident you're a teacher because it's easy to navigate. It's logical education. It's spelled out really well. And where you need a visual, there's a visual. Or if you need to see a hands on part, there's a video that kind of goes with it. So well done.
thank you, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We're going to be adding more as time goes on. If I can, I may just use Dave a couple times and have him do the videos for me since I don't have much time, huh? Dave, what do you think? Can I hire you?
You can hire me anytime you want. I work cheap. Don't worry.
Will work for templates.
Work for
Oh,
templates,
we've
yeah.
done that.
Yeah,
We've done that already.
I'm a sucker for barter. Kathy Wood.
Oh my gosh.
But
So,
um,
Clay, what sets you apart? I mean, because the industry for templates has really like exploded the last couple of years. I mean, there's
there
probably
are
close to a dozen plus in the network now, and the community, that are pretty active. So what
there
makes
are
you different?
what makes me different. So what I've done and I actually had this conversation today with the customer is I take the time to sit down with each one of our customers and get to know them and try to help teach them things along the way and understand their event. And I really need to know like all the information that I can so that way I can make the best thing that I can for you. Uh, take your vision and put it on paper, if you will. So me taking the time to sit there and make a phone call to you or send a messages to you, that's me being different uh, on the customer service side of everything. So I'm, as you know, Dave, I'm on that phone 24/7. So if a message comes through, if I don't answer it within a few minutes or an hour, it's a problem for myself. It's an anxiety problem for myself. So I try to make sure that everybody's happy and everybody knows what's going on. As far as our website, uh, on our stock side, I try to make things so simple for people where all they have to do is just double click and change things in Photoshop.
Mhm.
So, or I give them textless PNGs where y'all can use them on Canva now, where you can add your own text boxes. So, uh, so I'm trying to find every single bit of easy ways to make it uh, just fluid and simple. Uh, and I feel like that's what sets us apart is making it fluid, simple, easy, and communicative.
Yeah, another thing I noticed is I'm going to show this here. What I like about your templates is that they're not all like a cookie cutter template, which is the same stuff swapped out on every single one of them.
Correct.
They're very unique. Let me see if I can go, like for example, 2x6 templates is what I use the most, or that's the size. But
Right, which is pretty common.
yeah, they're not all the same exact size. There's just so many different things that are going on here, and it goes on and on and on. You have so many. How many templates would you say you have in um, your stockpile?
On the side alone, we have about 2,000.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, about
That can be
2,000.
cumbersome
So
to choose for
it's
an average customer.
it is, and that's one of the things that we get a lot of comments on is, hey, what's the easiest way that we can filter through this? And the answer is text is editable.
Yep,
Look for the theme.
yep. So if I want like I don't know, cowboy. right? Since you're from Texas, you should have some kind of cowboy thing in there, right?
Put in Western, yeah, or rustic.
Yeah, let's go Western. Let's see what we got. Putting you on the spot. Boom. There you go.
Right.
Nice one right there.
Dave, you have that one to the right.
What's that?
You have the one to the right there.
This one right here.
Yep.
The chalkboard party. That's nice.
Yep.
I do have that.
You do. Yeah.
So, and you've got the widget, right? That they can put up on their site.
I do. Yeah. I spent a lot of time and a lot of money on making sure that worked. And right now, for the first year, that's free. We are allowing for folks to join in, use that on their website. What it'll do is when your customer goes in and clicks on whatever template they like, it'll bring up a customization form where they can fill it out. It'll email all that info to you, and with a link to that particular template, and say, hey, Boother, here's all the customizations, here's the link, go purchase this here. Or if you're on the Unlimited Download Club, which is right over there to the right, which is brand new this year, that will be included.
It just makes more sense to go for the full year. I mean, if you're starting out your first event, yeah, go for the free one and get one. But after a while, if you're really into this, I mean, by like the 20th event, if you're not booking 20 events a year, then that's an issue in itself. But that pays for itself. Plus, you're just getting everything included because it's
especially when you have screens on there, Mirror Boost screens, you have iPad screens, you have all the animated buttons on there, all the different products that we sell that's not custom by us, our staff. Then that's all there, and it's $500.
And that includes
per year. Yeah, that includes animations, the whole gambit on the store. So you're getting 2,000 something products off the store front, and it's all right there.
A lot, and you've got the buttons too. So people want to do the buttons, right? So animated buttons, that's nice to have.
So animated buttons is what got me through COVID.
Everybody's got me. Mine was Legos. Oh my god!
Financially, animated buttons is what got us through COVID.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because we were doing all the virtual boosts through SnapPick.
Yeah, I've seen these on. Curator has this one here. I know that.
Right, and it has our watermark on it too.
So, does it? I didn't even notice.
I just noticed that this past weekend when I was using it. I'm like, wait a second. There's photo booth graphics.
Thanks for the free advertisement.
So it's not like my guest noticed it.
Well, it's not like it's big on the button. It's just right underneath it. So and it's so that way people can see it and trial it, right? So and whatnot.
There's 360.
Yeah. So those are coded with the correct codecs that the different softwares need. So like the MP4 overlays or the MP4 alphas for TouchPix and SnapPick. We also have the MOVs for the Windows base, so that's going to be Dezentech and was it Selfie Box 96 and whatnot. And we are adding the MOV, the HEVC MOVs for Luma Booth as well. That's coming. We have 3 products on the site at the current moment, which are going to be those 2 that you just passed up just now, with the leaves and the Christmas lights.
That's crazy. And how many do you have on staff?
So right now it's just Adam and myself. And Angela McFadden Flores is also part of our team as well. She's helping us with Darkroom, and she's also helping out with some marketing. So there's 3 of us.
All right. So I see you.
But as far as designing staff, it's Adam Fields and myself.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff you guys are doing. That's insane. And you're saying you're only working 40 hours. How do you cram that into 40 hours? There's no way you're only working 40 hours a week. Get out of
We
here.
are working. Yeah, I don't work for the school systems anymore. I don't work for anything else other than photo booth graphics and more music entertainment.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah. So it's
So,
just I'm here at the house. So
dude, that's a great job to have. I mean, you told me. I mean, you've got your kids, right? So you can spend more time with your kids because you're working out of your home, which is fantastic.
I do, I do. Yeah. So I have a 17-year-old named Jet, and Dave has known Jet since he was itty bitty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was 4 years old when y'all met, on FaceTime and everything. Dave, you remember that? And
I
then
do.
Holland is now she is 6, and she's at cheer right now. So okay, so this is cool.
Yeah.
So
This this
this
is
is
your editor, your free graphics editor. Talk about this because I have not seen this yet.
so this is something I just put into our website just to help out. It's a free Photoshop esque software. It's called photop.com.
Hmm.
But they had an API that we were able to put into our website.
Okay.
So it's an external program that we've been able to put in, and you could put Photoshop files in there, and you can edit it as much as you want to.
Really? So I
So
can download whatever template you have, right? The PSD, plop that in here and edit on here instead of having to use Photoshop.
correct, yeah. And if you scroll down, you'll see instructions on how to use this.
Oh, this is fantastic. I will tell you, I was at an event 3 weeks ago, and I actually misspelled the bride's name. On one side of the 2x6, the one side was fine, the other one was not. And so, I tested it out at the event and I noticed it. So I had to download Photoshop and log in and do all that stuff. That would have been nice to have had to have this and just drop it into here. So I could have used this. Is that correct?
You could have used this, yeah, or you could have used their actual website, photop.com, yeah.
That's great.
So either way, yeah. So the only thing that has changed on there, and I have not put this on there yet, is using fonts. It used to look at your system folders on your
Yeah.
computer to
Okay.
allow to see the fonts. Now you have to actually upload the fonts themselves.
All right. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Well, I think in that
Yeah,
situation, I try to use as common fonts as possible, unless it's a
right,
really fancy script that's matching their invitations and stuff like that. But I try to keep it.
right.
This would have been great in that situation because that was one of those situations where I didn't have a fancy script. So this is
There
cool.
there have actually been at times where I didn't have my computer. I was at a buddy's house, and somebody's name was misspelled when they did the custom order, and I had to run over to my buddy's laptop, pull this up, and change it out for him. Thank God I have everything on Dropbox,
Oh my God, yeah.
and yeah, and upload it, and I changed it out for him and sent it to him really quickly.
So that's a good idea.
So
So here's a tip for everybody. Like I will edit my stuff on my laptop, and then I'll copy the PSD over onto a thumb drive along with my other files to the overlay, which we'll talk about that in a second. Um, but I don't copy the fonts over. So it would really be smart for me to get into a habit of uploading everything to a Dropbox or a Google Drive so I can access it anywhere and not have to worry about that. And then I'll have those files and then plop it right into Photopea right at the event if I need to.
right, right, yeah, it's a great thing. So it is a really good thing, and I'm trying to bring it up right now, but I even have Dropbox on my phone if I need to with Photoshop. So
So,
if I need to edit
like,
it,
question for you: where's a good place? Because you know, we were talking about fonts. Where's a good place for people to find fonts? That are popular or anything like that.
I try to stick to four different places on the site, or excuse me, for our stock items. Um, and for custom, that is going to be dafont.com.
Yeah, you actually cover that here in your FAQs.
I do. Yeah. Font Squirrel is another one. Uh, then I'll go to Google and Adobe
Mm-hmm.
as well. So
There you
Google
go.
Fonts and Adobe.
Yep.
And you have to be a little careful about those too, because going down the copyright thing,
Mm-hmm.
there are personal fonts out there, and there are also commercialized fonts. So you have to make sure that when you're doing this, that you're using commercialized fonts.
Yep.
So
So you brought up a very good point there, Clay, about copyright material. Can you
you know how I feel
explain?
about that, Dave.
I know, I know. But just remember, you opened the door. I'm just letting you in for this one. So, what is explain the copyright? Because I see people that just use Disney images or Marvel or DC Comics or those kinds of things in their
I
designs.
definitely. Art, will you bring up DisneyStudioLicensing.com?
All right. So DisneyStudioLicensing.com.
DisneyStudioLicensing.com. Yeah.
All right.
So so that so that website right there, that tells you every bit of how to be able to obtain the rights and how to pay for the Disney rights to use Mickey Mouse, to use Thor, to use uh, Paw Patrol, whatever the different movies are that are there. So we can use those particular items as long as you fill out those forms and you get the rights and you pay for them. So, and then you put us as a writer being able to resell those to that particular customer. So, um, I would definitely encourage folks to take a look at this website and understand more about copyright on that. But as far as being able to use Nike, being able to use any copyright stuff is pretty much a no go
Yeah.
unless you have those particular rights from those particular companies.
Yeah. Some
But wait,
companies are.
Clay, it's on Google. I should be
Yeah.
able to use it just because it's on Google, right?
Right. What is that little disclaimer that says on there on the images?
Right.
What does it say that may be copyright?
Something like that.
Let's see.
Well, two things on
Let's see.
that. So number one, some sites are, or some companies, a little bit more aggressive at approaching copyrights than others. Disney is ruthless and takes no prisoners. They actually, there's many stories of them actually going after daycares, restaurants, pizza places, small little podunk things that don't really care. They don't care who you are. They will go after you.
They shut down a daycare back, was it the 90s?
Yeah.
Is that right? It was over in Orlando, and it's because they had a mural
Hmm.
painted on the walls there, and the owner was like, "I don't care. We painted these. This is our own rendition of this. Um, so we're not going to do it." They're shut down. They're
Yeah,
no longer in
you
business.
got to be careful. Some they're ruthless. Um,
Yeah. One of my customers uh, in New Jersey, he and I'm not going to say his name, obviously, for purposes of protection.
Correct. You want to
But
keep them as a customer? Yeah, no.
well, he's told the story on a Clubhouse with us.
Okay.
So, um, but anyways, he was doing a job for I didn't do the artwork at all whatsoever. So let me preface this. But he did some artwork for Star Wars grand opening or our movie premiere that a insurance company, I believe, if I'm correct, um, it was opening up the theater and rented it out for people to come and see this particular Star Wars movie. Yeah, he got a nasty lawsuit from Disney.
Yeah.
On it.
Well, Disney owns Star Wars. So there you go. I bet you before Disney owned Star Wars, that wasn't as stringent, but now Disney's like the legal capital of everything. It's just insane.
They're their own world.
Yeah, their own world and land.
Yeah, their own country. Yeah. It's
the Google images you were talking about is also something to be very careful about. So I also work for a law firm. And do marketing for many law firms across the United States. That's like my full-time job. So kind of I've been living in this. There's actually lawyers out there that their sole business and way of making money is finding websites that has images stolen from other websites, and they will contact the owner of the original image and say, hey, I found your image on another site. Would you like to sue them? Sure, no problem. I'll take 20% of the suit. They send a cease and desist and a lawsuit. Next thing you know, you're having to pay per image an instance on a site. So you got to be very careful about what you're using on your websites. Right. And for even like if it's a photo strip, and a lot of people will use their photo strips from events to put on their website as examples sometimes. So you have to be careful with that too. So it's not just the website, it's printed materials that may show up on your website or social media or wherever.
Right. There've been a couple of instances where Ryan, I'm calling you out. So he had some icons that were made for 360 booths, and people have been taking those icons and putting them on their websites, and I've seen him do cease and desist about them as well. So you can't just take people's stuff off their website and use it for yourself.
Yeah. How do you cover your butt in your scenario where you've got a template, you've got your own business, and people come to your site and they're downloading the stuff? Like, is there a way that you can track, other people that are using the templates that they have not purchased, that they've bought off of somebody else, or do you find that happen a lot?
I do. This community is very sharing, if you will. They like to share a lot, which we do have a lot of cease and desists that go out. I spend quite a bit of money on cease and desist. I had a guy even call me and ask me if I could edit a screen that somebody gave him.
Oh, geez. Well, it's like Dave with Breeze, right? You had the software and you were calling for customer support and kind of.
Yeah, when I got started, the first system I bought came with Breeze, and I went to register it and upgrade it, and I was told that I was using pirated software. So, needless to say, I immediately purchased said software, and
I remember,
Yeah. So what did you do, Clay? You sent out some cease and desist on that?
Yeah, I've sent some cease and desist out. I'm noticing I'm having some signal issue. My camera's a little blurry. Yeah. Here, so do apologize about the fuzziness.
Oh, that's all right. And speaking of the camera, I actually got commented on mine. Carlos, what's up, man? We've talked plenty of times. Asked what webcam I'm using. So, and I pulled it up. So let's go ahead and take a look here because I'm that kind of geek. This is the one I'm using for the cast. And it's not necessarily about the camera. It's lighting too. So I've got a ring light in front of me that's kind of pointing up towards the ceiling and lights off to the sides, which again is a big part of running a photo booth business, is kind of understanding lighting. You can have the greatest camera in the world, but if your lighting's not good, the picture's not going to come out that great.
That would be a great episode with Bill.
Yeah, and we had him on last week.
We had Bill and Steve both on last week.
Yep. I don't know if we can afford to have him on because next time he's going to start charging for all the valuable information he's bringing.
Well, so then have Wally come on.
All right.
Yeah. They're both professional photographers, so
cool.
Definitely. I'm using the 2021 MacBook Pro camera.
Okay. Hey, we can
So
see you, we can hear you. That's all that counts. That's all that matters,
that's
man.
right. That's right. That's
Yep.
right. Uh, Going back to the covering everything, we do buy license rights to be able to use things.
Okay.
We spend quite a bit of money on license rights, and we also hand draw a lot of the things that we do.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so
All in
we do a
40 hours a
lot of
week.
stuff in Illustrator. I wish it
Yeah,
was
I
40.
can't even hand draw a stick figure, so that's why I get a lot of my graphics from other people. Know your limitations and work around it.
The favorite tool of every graphic designer, the pen tool.
Yeah. So Clay, are you still going out and doing events?
I have limited that because of the graphic world and also because of my kids.
Yeah.
I am starting to pick that up back up again and doing that, but we mostly do drop offs more than anything else. So, and then I do have a 360 booth as well. So,
Are you
and
seeing a
we've
lot
done
of
that a
action with
couple
the
of times.
360? A lot. Are you getting a lot of 360? Yeah.
Not here in East Texas.
Interesting.
Not here in East Texas. Yeah, most of our stuff either comes out of Houston or it comes out of Dallas, which Dallas is 2 hours north of me, and Houston is about 3 hours south of me.
Hmm.
So we do have to trek down there if we're going to do it, but not a whole lot of traction on the 360 is in East Texas.
Another question
So
we saw on the Photo Booth Network Facebook group. Someone was asking for drop-offs. What is everybody using for specifically a drop-off scenario? I heard Salsa was mentioned. Dave, you named another one. What are you using, Clay?
So yeah, I use
go ahead, Dave.
Moby Booth, and so I have the salsas also.
I have the Pixfox Pearls. Also have the Boothmaster PickStation Mini, Kathy. That's going back to that comment earlier. And then I also had the ring rummers on stands, and I use the ring rummers on stands quite a bit.
Yeah. Now, what are
So
some of the things that the aspects that made you choose the ones you did for drop-offs? Is there a certain thing you're looking for that what are the features that made you decide those are the ones that you can use for drop-offs?
Dave,
Dave, you go first.
What's that?
Well, you've got so many different styles of booths, and then when you do drop-offs, you've got certain kind of features that you have in mind for specifically just drop-offs. What are those features the considerations that why you chose those for drop-offs?
So it's got to be portable. It's got to be kind of solid, because if I'm dropping it off and I'm not going to be there, any little issue, I'm going to wind up refunding money, either partial or full. And features, fun features.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be easier, and a graphic interface. So, being able to have a fun graphic interface that guests, when they walk up to it, can easily understand. That's the biggest thing. Having something to draw people into it. That's obviously what you want to do. You want to draw the people or the guests to it, so when they do touch a button or touch a screen, they can easily figure things out and play around and have fun and not worry about it crashing, after 5 minutes.
right. So for me, it depends on what type of event it is. So if I'm DJing an event, I'm going to take the ring rummer with the stand because it's easy for me to walk over to it and fix it. So it's semi-attended, if you will. So I'm there. If it's something that I'm dropping off, I'll take the pearls, or I'll take the PickStation Mini. And the reason why is because it's too hard to knock those things over.
Makes sense.
You can't really do too much with them. They're sturdy, so and they're easy.
Yeah. So we got
the reflection from Pitbox is really good.
Yeah. So somebody commented they used that one, and it says their second comment was it's as solid as they come. So that's I gotta take a look at that. There's so many options out there, not only with like graphics, but booths and software. It's insane.
So I'm going to bring that one up too. The Reflection, the Aura View, and the Sapphire. Those are the three main ones that came out. Now there's obviously Chinese knockoffs and whatnot, but those are really cool units for advertising, and we do have those on our site. Dustin with Pickbox, he had us do those graphics for him at the very beginning, and those are really cool booths to have. Do slideshows on those for the drop offs. And what's cool about those particular booths is that you can command pretty much the same amount of money as a mirror booth.
Huh.
Yeah. It's under
You can
animations.
command everything you want for whatever you're marketing. It's just a matter of, will people want it?
Bottom of the list.
And that's the thing. Having something that's catchy that draws the guests to it.
Right.
Oh, cool.
Right. So there's
very cool.
Yeah. So there's those. Yeah. Yeah.
You got those formatted for those
really cool.
tall verticals.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. They're there's 3 pages worth of them on there. If you click in, you can watch a video on how it's set up.
So that's nice. So it's not just a picture. I can go in there and actually see what I'm going to be getting for it. That's fantastic.
Right.
Now, Clay, if someone needed that customized, if someone needed one of those customized, you can easily customize that for somebody, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So you have the stock ones here that are just basics, but if you wanted it to say, happy birthday, Mary, you could add that in very easily, I guess.
Right.
And that's where
you're right.
Right.
And if you want to DIY as well, so if you wanted to take these stock screens and you wanted to put them in your own editor and resave them out as an MP4. So for example, using Premiere, After Effects, Canva, even Photoshop, you can add your own logo to this statically, and then or animated if you know how to do it, and just resave it back out as a MP4 file.
Yep. Here we go.
I had to think which one it was. Now you were asking, what was that, Art?
Oh no, Dave was asking about if they want to customize it, and the answer is yes. And there's a small little fee, but they have to start a conversation with you. They got to jump on the phone or tell you what they're looking for. It's that way you can give the proper amount of time to quote out.
Right. Well, we do mostly everything by email or the forms on our website. So it's best to either shoot us an email and say, hey, I need to get this particular one customized to say Happy Birthday, Mary, or they can fill out the form under custom there, and it says request and edit, and fill out that form and bring it, and we'll send it to you with an invoice.
That's fantastic. So I know we're kind of getting close to the end of the show here because you've got some stuff to do. You started early. Thank you so much for jumping on. Anything coming down the pipe for photoboothgraphics.com?
Yes, there is. Let's just say that it's going to be a 2023 feature.
Okay.
And it has to do with something that you showed earlier with editing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we're not just gonna release that just yet. We're working the fine tunes out on that one. So I don't want to promise a certain date on that one. But we are looking into the possibility of adding a online editor.
Well, I tell you what, when you are ready, we would love to announce it here live with you. When you get all of the whiz bangs figured out, we'll do a launch here on Photo Booth Magazine if you want to. We'd be more than happy to have you on there for that.
I would love to do that. So Dave, here publicly, thank you so much for helping build Photo Booth Graphics up with Photo Booth Network.
Listen, I didn't build anything. You did it yourself. I've always been a supporter of everybody in the group. especially you, because we do have that personal friendship outside of the industry. I remember
Many,
talking
many
to
hours.
you actually on your wedding day, about some stuff.
Oh,
So
wow.
it goes way
did.
back, and Clay and I met each other in person. I think the first time was it Dallas, or was it before Dallas?
No, it was Dallas. It
It was
was
Dallas
your conference, and
for PVPI, yeah. So,
yeah,
I mean, we've known
PVPI.
each other for years. We've, FaceTimed and everything else. But to actually meet someone that you've been friends with over the internet, which sounds kind of creepy.
No, not creepy.
You know,
Hey, that's how you and I met, Dave. So, and I'm going to get to meet Clay at PBX, right, Clay? You're going to be there?
Yes, I'll
right.
be there.
See, that's not
Yeah,
creepy.
I'm coming in Monday. So
I'll be in Sunday.
yeah,
Leaving Friday.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm going to be probably there Friday for the
Mastermind.
Mastermind. Yeah.
the mastermind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going to be heading in for that. I think that's going to be a great learning opportunity, kind of a bonus learning opportunity for people. So,
Right.
and I think we're going to try and get Ishmael or Ursula or Sammy on.
I did talk to Ursula early on when we were first starting this up, and she said she would come on, but obviously she's over in the UK or across the pond, as we like to say.
Ireland.
She's in Vegas
She's in Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, right now they're in Las Vegas, so we could do a special edition because they're in Las Vegas.
She said
yeah. Right. Yeah. So I was going to come in the weekend before with the mastermind stuff, but Holland has a cheer competition in Shreveport, so I've got to stick around for that, and then I'm going to fly out on Monday and come in. I just got the hotel rooms today.
Good.
And I'm going to fly back out on Thursday. Hopefully, we don't have the ice storm like we did last year.
Oh, I got stuck in Chicago. It was horrible.
I was stuck in Dallas.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
I flew into Dallas. I called Dave when I got on the ground, and I got to my car, and it was not just on the driver's side only. It was just a 3-inch.
Oh my god!
Just slat of ice, and I had to sit there and just let the car warm up for like an hour before I could even drive home. So
crazy.
I just. In Texas wet is a little bit different. Winter wet is a little bit different than y'all guys. It's ice.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, I used to live in Texas. I'm familiar with that.
Oh yeah. You did. You did. Yeah. So it's horrible. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, Photo Booth Magazine. This is a really cool ordeal. I'd love to help you out with any kind of advertising or anything that you need. With this as well. So
thank you. We appreciate it, Clay.
Yeah.
Listen,
all right.
You did a great job coming on tonight and helping us, expand our knowledge out there. So
Carlos is
stuck in New York City first.
Carlos is awesome. He's been watching like every show. Carlos, I actually owe Carlos a little one-on-one for his Google My Business. So Carlos, I'll get you. We'll work on your Google My Business with you, private. All right. So Clay, Dave,
to meet you, sir.
You too, and I'll see you at PBX in February. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 12. We'll see you next week. We'll make that announcement as soon as we get everything buttoned up for that one. All right.
You don't know who's coming on next?
Dave, who we have on next week?
I have to look at the schedule.
Yeah, it's some LA photo party, I think, right?
Yes, I believe it might be Mr. Dave Miller. David Miller.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll make that announcement. We'll figure it out.
You got to get Lisa on there, too.
Hey. We'll have just about anybody on.
And I got way back, too. So,
yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Clay. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you.